Well, I'm really excited. I just started recording. I'm really excited to kind of share a few things with you guys this morning. And before we do that, I want to remind you that you can go back to Mega Camp and download a lot of great stuff later today or tomorrow. So I wouldn't bother with it today because they're uploading it all right now. That's why our system is down. They're trying to put all the different videos attached to everything. So it's taking a little longer than they, I think, originally expected. However, you're going to have access to all these sessions. And if you weren't lucky enough to go to Mega Camp and there's a couple sessions you want to go or you want to explore, just reach out to me and I'll help you, because it's really a lot of great messages. What I want to share with you today is what I started working on. And that's why I said, have you Googled yourself lately? Because one of the messages we heard over and over from Google and Facebook was how proud they were to be in partnership with Keller Williams. And that's a huge advantage we have. And yet, one of the things we need to do is look at ourselves online and audit your realtor curb appeal. So if I was to go to Google and search Jessica Fox, I'll put Keller Williams at the end so we don't have any trauma. Yeah, right, Kelly? I want to tell you, you see Chubby Jess. This is from 2014. Look how fat I was. But I had much longer hair back then. And I'm going to tell you, this is the wrong profile. I don't want this profile coming up. This is for me way back when, 2011. You see all these videos. Well, this is an old YouTube channel that I used to have that's tied to a market center I'm no longer with. So does that serve me anymore? Nope. And to be honest with you, this website's stealing my SEO. This is a competitor's website now. It's a different market center. It's not mine. Now they were good enough to change and update my picture for me, but I'm going to take it down. I'm going to go in and take some of these things down. I'm going to delete this profile on YouTube because it's not serving me. It's competing with me. So think about it. Have you looked at your name lately and seen? Now, here's the other thing. This is another company. I don't even use Recruiting Bridge. They're using my name to get my SEO. And then finally, there's one thing that's legit me, Facebook. And then this is my new YouTube. So this is the YouTube, or no, this is my old YouTube. I don't want to send them to my old stuff. So all I have to do is go into that old profile and delete it. Now, first things first, I'm going to see if there's any good video content and save it to my new YouTube by just adding it to a playlist, and then it still exists. It won't be gone forever, but there's a lot of old garbage I have out there that's not really serving me. So I put a little step-by-step how to audit yourself. Like, what does your internet curb appeal look like? Is it working for you? Is it void? Nothing's there? That's actually easier than having a hot mess like I do. But how do you show up if you Google your name? That's important to know. And that's how you can fix everything. So what I'm most excited about, besides just talking about Facebook ads, is you have the ability to do a land grab right now equally. Each of you do. And yet, besides the Facebook ads, there's some other things you can do in tandem, but you really need to step back for a second and give yourself a little bit of an audit. So like, how does your Facebook show up? Do you have a Facebook business page? Because you need one at this point. Not just for billing purposes for Facebook, but you're going to need that for communication. That'll be a platform moving forward that would be as important as YouTube and Facebook. I would say you need to clean those profiles up. You need to be putting content out, because that's going to be your land grab right there. Besides these Facebook ads and picking up people that have been on Zillow or Realtor.com recently or whatever, those are great people to grab, by the way, for your database. And yet, what does your internet curb appeal look like? So if I was to search Garrett Grimes or Rebecca Messenger or Kelly Ackley or Greg Johnson, what comes up? Because right now, mine's working against me, isn't it? And just because I have these old videos from long ago on an old profile. So if I would have shown further, there's this old blog that I used to write in 2011. So here's the truth. that content does last forever. It's working for me if I wouldn't have moved into a different part of the world, right? But now I have to like shut that part of the world down. But first I'm gonna go and take the videos I want. So I wanna show you a few of these steps so that you guys know how to do this. Some of you may only have one YouTube channel. Some of you may have no YouTube channels. However, if I go back into the one that's not serving me, because again, it's old, I can go into any of these videos and see all these videos. Look at how much of a nerd I was. Oh my Lord, I don't want this out there. But you know, some of these might be good. So let's just, here's a fun one. This is Lynn Holly. She's one of my agents from Madison. And this is when we first got leads and she wanted to tell me how cool it was. And this is like back when in 2013, when we first had the ability to capture our own agent leads, and she was giving me a testimonial like she was drowning in leads, and she's been a realtor for 18 years and never got a lead before and didn't know what to do. And she's like barged into my office to tell me how cool it was. So I captured her in my old office on video. So this might be a fun one to share, right? Even though it's kind of old. So all I would do is hit save down here and move it over to my, or I'd share this to myself and add it as a video into my current YouTube channel that I'm building. So you would want to take anything before you delete everything. So if you're like me and you have an old channel, make sure you move over what you want and then just delete that channel altogether so you no longer compete with yourself. If you don't exist, and you haven't set anything up, you don't have any of that mess to clean up. However, if you Google yourself, your internet curb appeal matters. It's interesting, I was coaching with a couple agents that are at a different brokerage this last week, and all of them have been spending quite a bit of money doing video. 3D Matterport to property videos that are pretty swank, to one actually did kind of a piece on being an expert on waterfront. Okay. When I looked at all their videos, every one of those videos were being hosted on the YouTube channel of the company that produced it for them. Well, is that helping them? No, it's taking their SEO away from them. So I just showed them how to set up a YouTube channel, put it on their own YouTube channel and share it from there. And they were off and running. They couldn't believe it. Yet most of you don't know that is happening to you. So one of the things I'd love for you guys to do is kind of give yourself a look at. Go on Google, search your name. How do you show up? And then the key areas first to worry about would be Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I wouldn't worry about Pinterest yet or any other social media platforms. I would say if I was going to put any energy, those are the three I'd throw it at. Reason being, Facebook is our partner. And very powerful and very successful. Same thing with Google, and Google, you know, owns the other companies, and LinkedIn is coming in and starting to get some momentum. So I would look at yourself, because I'm kind of embarrassed, to be real honest with you guys, just to kind of share with you. If you search me, first of all, put Keller Williams afterwards. But if you look, my LinkedIn, don't think I've been on except maybe one time since I moved to Florida 8 years ago. And it doesn't represent me well. So if I was going to go list Juan's house and he went and Googled me and he was big into LinkedIn because he's an executive, he's going to be like, this chick doesn't even show up. I don't even show up right now. That's not good at all. But you'll see that down here, I do show up, and it's like a picture from 10 or 15 years ago that I don't really look good in anymore. It's not like the same image. And yet there's a lot of people, a lot of professionals that live on LinkedIn. That's their Facebook. They don't do Facebook. It's a professional network. So homework I'd love to give you guys, because we're not going to be able to get onto command for the morning while they load all these videos, is really go Google yourself and then go audit yourself. How do you look online? Do you have the same image across the board? Do you have a logo, or at least the same logo for KW across the board? Is your name consistent across the board? Don't be fun and change your name to something different on every platform. Be consistent, because Google likes consistency. Now, I was coaching with a gal, and she's got kind of a cool name. Her name's Samra. And so she's Samra Says on Pinterest, and she's Samra Does on Instagram, and Samra Sells on real estate. And I'm like, you're like fighting your own identity, you know? So consistency matters across the board. And yet these are your Google juice. These things working together are going to make you more and more powerful. So first things first, search your name, see what happens. Now, what if there's a Greg Johnson out there, right, Greg? There's other Gregs out there.
There are. I was just looking.
Yeah. You know what? It's really easy to get your SEO to trump all of them in like a month. You can. And actually, the more common your name, the easier it is to do it. But you want to make sure that you're being consistent with your look and image, because you'll start showing up on top. So how was Greg Johnson going to outdo all the other Greg Johnsons? I want to show you. And I'm going to put this in the chat before we shut down for today. So make sure I do that. I'm going to just show you my notes. So I put this plan together because I'm planning world domination myself. Oh, this is for Kristen. Never mind. Wrong thing. These are my ideas for Kristen. You want different things.
World domination.
Well, I am kind of
Kristen world domination going on.
Jess, how much energy would you recommend putting into Google My Business?
I would just Google your name and then put the things in place you need so that you're not paying anybody to give you SEO, because there's no such thing as paid SEO. It's like paid Facebook ads. I'm going to throw it out there. Paid Facebook ads. Yeah, you can go hire a company to go do Facebook ads, but they're going to cost you 4 times more because they put their profit margin in. Same thing with Google placement. If you do it organically, they can never take it away. That's why I'm fighting myself from videos I made since 2011, right? Because those videos are kicking my new videos butt because they've just been out there longer. So you're better ahead probably following this plan than outsourcing it. But step 1 is go look and see how you show up. It's going to be eye-opening. It was embarrassing to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And those pictures of me, I was really chubby back then. I was like, thank God I changed my lifestyle. I do want longer hair though. I was thinking extensions, people. Any rate, go check out, see how you look. But then really your core things are going to be Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn right now. Keywords, what are your keywords? Okay, so I was thinking about this for me. I'm like, what do my keywords need to be? And then don't forget the tagging strategy I taught you in best practices for YouTube. If you're gonna stuff tags in at the end, don't like just write a whole bunch of, switch to the wrong thing. Don't stuff a whole bunch of the same words in, like real estate. Don't put Dunedin real estate, Clearwater real estate, Tarpon real estate. Don't be a tag stuffer. We found out that they hate that. Both YouTube, Google, and Facebook deep six you when you do that. Here's your strategy. You want 9 tags total. That's it. And they should be these 3 strategies: a target word, like Pinellas real estate market or Clearwater homes for sale, like something someone would type in for whatever video you're doing. You want to have 3 of the T's and then 3 of the S's, which are synonyms. I finally figured out how to say that word. I kept saying synonym, synonyms, and then 3 categories. So if you're going to do a video, we know the description of the video has to be like 75 to 100 words. Well, most of us write 2 paragraphs at most and we think we're done. So what my suggestion would be is to figure out what your key tags are fundamentally most of the time for anything pretty simple that you're doing, like maybe a property tour, and come up with that so that you can literally copy and paste them into the description along with a little blurb about yourself at the end. So I'm going to go back into YouTube for a second and give you an example of this. If we were to go into YouTube, let me share YouTube. If you go into YouTube and under any video, and I'll just bring up any video, I'm still working on this and I have yet to master, to be real honest with you, because I haven't written up on a Word document what I can copy and paste in. However, if you go to one of my videos, you'll see that I have this generic thing that comes up. I set it up in my settings, like every time, put this on. If I go to another video, you know, same thing shows up. And I just basically put a blurber too. So I still need to go back and copy and paste more words into the details so that I have more stickiness with my videos. Once I do that, Greg, my Jessica Fox will outdo the other Jessica Fox organically and forever. Does that make sense?
Hey, Jess, real quick question. When you set up your YouTube account up in Wisconsin, is it tagged to your KW email that you're using here in Palm Harbor or Clearwater?
No, and that's why I have two different. It was some generic Gmail, Jessica, my old maiden name, something or other at gmail.com. And I had built it off that. And so when I moved here, I'm like, I need a new identity. Well, instead of deleting that one, I just started a new one. So now I'm competing identities, right?
Yeah.
And I had video from 2008 to 2014 on the old one and 2014 to current on the new one. And so I got to deep six it because it's going to keep beating me. Now that shows you the power of video, you guys, because I haven't put a video up on that for 8 years. So if you want some proof that this stuff works, I like literally have to delete that whole identity.
Yeah.
And I haven't posted on, and to be honest with you, the last 2 years I was there, I didn't really do much with it. If you look at the videos. So, you know, this has like massive staying power. However, Greg, for you to beat the other Greg Johnsons, you almost need to write out your words, like what are you going to copy and paste at the end of every video besides the 2 paragraphs you had wrote about what really is that video about, and really go into detail about what that video is about, but have it pre-written so you can copy paste and get to at least 100 letters of detail. So you're not killing yourself with time, right? That's my commitment to get done. And so I'm going to write out my tags. Like, what are my tags really going to be? Well, it might be for me, Clearwater real estate licensing, or careers in real estate in Clearwater, Florida, you know, stuff like that for me, because I'm attracting agents. You're going to attract sellers and buyers. You know, and so if you have a video about how to sell safely during COVID, you're going to go into great detail, those first 2 paragraphs, and then copy and paste the rest in, you know, whatever you would have written up about, like a little bio about yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's really hard to write about yourself. Like, you feel like you're being, you know, arrogant or something, like, oh, I'm such a great realtor or whatever. So, you know, you might find a buddy on this and ask, you know, what would you add? What do you like? Because it can be difficult to brag about yourself. It's not natural. And yet you want to talk about being part of the #1 real estate office in the market. You know, we dominate. Of the top 10 brokerages in Pinellas County, 8 of the top 10 are Keller Williams. I mean, like, you guys dominate. So that would be something I would put in there. And yet I want it to be easy for Greg, for the next 3-4 videos you make, to just crush every other Greg Johnson out there. And the only way you're going to do it is to getting to 100 words of detail, because YouTube honors that. They honor your effort, knowing this guy's serious about what he's doing, whereas this other girl, she had 1 sentence about what her video is about. And that is the new algorithm. So that's new. So, you know, when Gary Keller was talking about the playing field has been equalized and we all can go get whatever we want, that's never been more true. And yet I think as we've evolved with this Facebook ads, people need to connect with you. And if they're not responding to your texts and your calls, but they're getting some emails, and this Greg Johnson keeps popping up and he seems like a really nice guy, and he offered me this fee-free mortgage, and then he sent me this link about how to stay away from sinkholes, and he sent me this other link about down payment assistance, some grant that came out, and he sent me this thing that's cool because I can search what I want. Who's my realtor going to be? Greg. And I think that what I've learned is that people connect to video way better than a little text, right? A robot texting. So the more we can integrate video into our smart plan to convert these Facebook leads, the better off we're going to be. Now, we do have, as soon as we can get back into command, which I would just pause for today and go back in tomorrow unless you need to do something today. Because I know they're putting all the video up and it's clunky and keeps crashing right now. So just chill for the day and maybe work on you and your internet curb appeal. Yet go back in and think about how you could reconnect with every one of your leads with just one video going out. Like, hey, wow, the market's really moving again. And if you're trying to buy with VA or FHA, I'd love to tell you another plan or strategy you could take to get your deal accepted. You do something like that. Even someone working with another agent that might not be really connected might be like, please tell me. They may not know about an escalation clause. They may not know about being a TBD buyer where they're like a cash buyer. And so there's a lot you guys can do, but I know video is going to be a big part of it. Now, if you're going to do it right. Spend the half a day writing all your stuff out on a Word document, copy and paste it into the bottom of your video detail. And Greg Johnson, you're gonna crush every other Greg Johnson out there. And basically what YouTube's doing is they're re-indexing their video. Well, how many videos do you think YouTube has?
Millions.
Right? Bajillions. So, they're kind of drawing a line in the sand, and the new algorithm is the new algorithm. Well, how many people do you know that don't know the new algorithm, that do videos constantly? Well, this is your way to do it. So I think it's worth the little bit of time it's going to take for you to do it right. So I'm going to add this into the chat as a document because sometimes we have to slow down to speed up. You know what I mean? And I'm not naturally good at that.
That was one of the nice things about Mega Camp. They had last week where they were able to add videos to our emails now, which is really nice.
Huge, huge, huge. I haven't played around with that enough. And I was thinking, boy, oh boy, that might be, and I know they're going to integrate that into smart plans. For some reason, it's not letting me connect. Maybe I didn't give myself permission as host. I may have clicked the wrong button in my settings.
Oh no.
You know what I'm gonna do? Shoot, why won't it let me attach this? Darn it, darn it, darn it. Okay, let me come up with plan B. I don't have everybody's email on here. I'm totally being honest because I don't know who everyone is, and there's a lot of people that are screen off.
Or email it to one of us and let's see if we can post it.
Okay, Damari, I'm sending it to you. I'm going to make you co-host real quick. Damari, you're co-host. Let me see if I can email it to you.
Now, I'm curious how Google does local searches, because I know when I look up my name, it focuses on myself all the way up to Orlando, because I'm more on the west side or the east side of the world here. I'm curious if on the west side of the world, if filters a little better.
What do you mean?
Like right now, if you did a Google search on my name, I'm curious to see what comes up on your screen versus my screen.
Doing it right now.
Geographic.
Show you, and then Damari just sent it to you. So let me screen share what just happened for me when I searched your name. Dad of twins died in hot car.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I know.
Condolences, Juan.
Yeah, I know. How dare I? Now, Juan Rodriguez is like John Smith in Spanish.
Yeah.
So if you
I was just gonna say
there,
you have a very common name too. So
yeah,
Well,
there.
these showed up on the map. I did not show up on, I don't ever show up on the map. I'm having a hard time with realtors showing up on maps when you search.
You need Google My Business in order to do that.
I just set that up about a week ago.
Yeah, give it some time. Do a lot of posts. Treat it like a Facebook post. Whatever you put on Facebook, copy and paste, put it there. Copy and paste, put it there.
On my website?
On Google My Business.
Okay, I've got to work on that.
okay, well, I don't want to leave you guys hanging, so I'm gonna put it in the chat and it's gonna look obnoxious. But you know what? You can copy and paste it. There we go. We never quit. We figure a workaround. Tech will not take us down today. So I know it's ridiculous what I just chatted you. Just copy paste and put that in Word, and that's kind of like step by step. Step one, what does your name appear like? Now, some of you have very unique names, like Rebecca, your name, Rebecca Messenger. The message to all your real estate needs, right? There, you can have some fun with that. Some of you have really unique names, so just keep that in mind. And then if you're going to get married, you got to think about that, you know, all that jazz. And decide what name are you going with. And you might be like Damari and I. Damari and I are both married, but we still go by practically our maiden names because that's how everyone knows us. You know, if I said Jessica Wimmer, people are like, who are you talking about, Willis? You know, so I'm legally Jessica Wimmer, but I'm Jessica Fox Wimmer when it comes to real estate. So you might do the same. Keep that in mind. So here's the thing, what I'd say is I'd take the time to write out your 100 letters, words, blending in your text, your main tags, and then keep that and save that as a Word doc, and then go back into the videos that you have made and copy and paste that in, and you'll instantly get like massive traction. And it's truly breathtaking, the traction I've gotten, and I haven't even done this completely yet. So literally my views are up about 85% without doing anything. Now, the truth be told as well, though, when someone's looking for their realtor, they are searching you and they are looking at your internet curb appeal. Are you everywhere? Because they expect you to be. They want to know that their realtor is going to be putting their property on every platform out there, Facebook, social media, all of that. And LinkedIn, you guys, if you're wanting to work with an executive professional, guess what? They're on LinkedIn. So do you have a LinkedIn, and have you added anything in the last century? I haven't. Mine says I have like 250 agents and some other thing like that. Nothing about leading the #1 office in the market. Could I improve that? Absolutely. Do you need to slow down to take a breath to do that? Absolutely. So I would definitely take this time and kind of give yourself that audit that you need. Truth be told, though, you guys have the ability, if you want, to go grab enough market share to compete with any agent out there. And the gentleman, last name is Shields.
Oh, Tyler.
Tyler, he has a 7.5% conversion rate on his Facebook ads, and he put his smart plan out there for you guys. It's kind of a weird name. It doesn't say Facebook in it. It says something about new lead. So go search by author under smart plan for Shield and go check out his, because he has the highest conversion by 1.5%. The highest I've seen was 6% conversion. He's got 5 or 7.5. And what he's doing differently is he's got a short sprint that he tries to get the person on the phone or communicate with them, and then he goes on to a longer sprint. He hasn't worked in the video, so I messaged him and asked him why he didn't do any video, and he said that's a really good idea. So I sent him mine. He said, I'm going to work that into my plan because I never thought to land him on a video. He's like, I never thought of it. And he's like, that probably would help. He does have an ISA, though, that's on the phone right when the leads come in. So that's one of the advantages he has that you may not. So I think the video helps land them on the video. So at least they see you, connect with you, and are expecting something from you. So give that a whirl. Any thoughts or questions or challenges besides me giving you this challenge to give yourself an extreme makeover? It's a lot. I know I threw at you.
Well, I do know that on Facebook ads, just to a quick lookout, if you select target my database and target an audience, a Facebook audience, on the 2 checkbox when you're creating a Facebook ad, careful, it will kill your Facebook ad. You won't get any views, impressions, or anything. I learned that just recently because somehow Facebook, those two, the algorithm behind it, it's an and condition, and they must have a Facebook profile in your database in order for that to work.
Yeah, you kind of sabotage your own ad because they have to be both.
Correct.
Those 2 things. Don't click what?
Don't click the target my database and Facebook audience. Those are the 2 options we have when we create a Facebook.
Right. So Facebook ad form always. Learn more always. But when it goes to targeting, based off of, if you have both of those picked, not only do I have to be a friend of yours with a profile that matches, but I have to be in that list. So it's like the chance of that is like so small. So you eliminate the views. So you want to be broad, obviously, when you're trying to just people grab.
Yeah, I lost 4 weeks on it, thinking it was a bug and troubleshooting with our team. And that was 4 weeks of marketing that just went up in smoke.
Kind of wasted.
Mm-hmm.
So just
I wasn't
remember,
charged.
you're just going for a clickable ad. Sometimes we get a little too detailed. It's just got to be clickable. And again, if you're not getting leads for about $1 to $1.75, it's your ad.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody had any luck on Facebook videos, running a Facebook video ad itself? Because I haven't.
Yes, as long as you're not the main subject line, and as long as the video doesn't start with you, it's got to start with the property. We've beta tested this. Mark did the same ad, one with him in front of the property. So when you click on it, you know it's going to be him talking, and one with just the property. And we realized that we had 3 times the leads without Mark. They don't want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been able to put a video through Facebook on an ad. There was a period of time where command was hanging up, but that was just a glitch in command at the time.
So that we're seeing that, and we're also seeing video tour. What I found though is agents are coming to me with their ads, and they might have like, I know, I don't think Natalie's on here. Natalie is very good at marketing, and she's done this on other platforms, and other things that she's learned, I think, told her to just do things a little differently. She wasn't getting any leads. They were paying like $3 a lead. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, it was because she'd have like 3 bed, 2 bath, 149.9, you know, or 452,000 or whatever it is. Well, you just told them everything. There's no reason to click. So instead of that, and she put a lot of pictures. I'm like, no, just put one really, and like, check, wait till you see this kitchen. You know, you want like a reason to click, or, you know, you want it to be clickable, and don't give them everything because there's no reason to click. It's got to be enticing enough. So just remember, the whole point of this is to get the click, because once they click, they're in your database and you grabbed them.
Yeah. The other thing too, folks, on Facebook ads, sometimes I've seen recently, I get a Facebook lead and I go into command and there is no email or phone number, just the name. And I went ahead back into Facebook, because under Facebook, on our business page, it shows the lead, all the leads that they capture for you. And in there was their name, email address, and phone number. So it looked like they erased their name, email address, and phone number on the form to send it to command, but Facebook already captures it.
So Juan, would you be willing to show us how to grab that?
Yeah,
you
guys
know how-
want the 5 seconds it takes.
Yeah, let me
nothing.
make you a co-host so you can screen share.
Sure.
And I'm going to stop record and start record so we can show this directly.